Hi everyone, this is Professor Woot, and I wanted to take a few minutes to talk to all of my students and any students out there who need this advice about your writing. Now, a lot of students are good writers, they don't have any problem with it, it's just something that they can do. A lot of students are natural writers and it comes very easy to them. But the majority of students I've dealt with in the past don't necessarily have those natural writing skills. And they have a great fear of judgment. And they have a great fear of failure. And they maybe sometime in their past had someone tell them that they weren't good writers. Well, I'm here to tell you that your teachers in college are interested in what you think. We are not so much interested in the research you do. The research is important and it should support what you think. But we want to know what are your ideas? What are your thoughts? You don't have to be an amazing writer to do well in college. You don't even have to be a great writer. You can be a good writer. And don't mistake having trouble with grammar and punctuation as being a bad writer. The act of writing itself and the act of editing and revising, they're two completely separate things. Revision itself is about going back and making sure your content is better. Editing and proofreading is about, let's find those common mistakes and should I have put a semicolon here, or what mistakes did I make in formatting for APA or MLA? That's what all that stuff is about. When you're drafting a paper, write what you think. Don't rely on the words of others. I want to know what's up here and what's in your heart and your soul. I don't need to know that you are a good researcher, although that helps. I want to know. So when you write a paper and you create your thesis statement and you have these claims that you need to prove, in the process of proving that, tell me what you think. I don't need to know what the experts think. I need to know that they support what you think. Okay? Don't be afraid of judgment. When a teacher is grading a draft or a paper, we're grading on multiple things. First of all, did you meet the requirements of the assignment? Did you follow the instructions? Did you make the right page count? Did you use the right types of sources? Etc., etc. But all of that is not as important as the content you created from your own words. That's what we're most interested in, or at least what I'm most interested in, and what any teacher that's worth anything should be interested in. I grade primarily on content. Okay? Thoughts and ideas are valuable. They are things that create the conversations among us in the communities. If you hide that from a teacher and just rely on the words of others, then we don't know what you think. We don't know what's going on in your head. We don't know what wisdom you have that you can share. We all have wisdom, no matter our age, no matter our background. We all have wisdom. And that's what I want you to share. I want you to share your wisdom with me. I want you to share your ideas with me. I want you to teach me something. Now, don't take that as a big thing of pressure. I just really want to know. So when I'm grading a paper, I look at what has this person shared with me that has come from their own mind and their own heart. I'm not judging you personally when I grade. I'm judging, did you meet the guidelines? Did you follow instructions? And does your paper contain your thoughts and ideas supported by evidence? Okay, that's what I'm looking for. A paper that's just a bunch of quotes and paraphrases and summaries from sources doesn't mean anything to me because I still don't know what you think. I want to know what you think. Some students worry about, well, what if the teacher disagrees with me? A good teacher is able to distance themselves emotionally and personally and intellectually from their own biases and just grade your paper on the merits. There are students I have had in the past over my career of 20 years who have written about topics that I completely disagree with on either a spiritual level or a political level, but I still stood back and graded it objectively. I have had students go out of their way to write papers that they know I disagree with, just in the hopes that I'll flunk them and they can complain about me. Well, guess what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to grade your paper on its merits, whether I agree or not. Whether someone else agrees with you is irrelevant. You put it out there, what you believe, and stand behind it. Be proud of what you believe. Be proud of your wisdom and your ideas. Because a teacher who grades on biases is not a good teacher. We should grade on merit, content. How well did you communicate your message? That's what should be graded. Don't ever fear judgment from teachers. If we're doing our job correctly, our focus is to help you improve your writing, not judge you based on your opinions or your beliefs or your politics. That's irrelevant. How well did you communicate your message? And I'll give you a great example. I am a conservative, I am a Christian, and I teach in academia. So I'm really kind of a fish out of water because most universities have a very liberal bend. It's just the way it is. And I know that, and I've survived it for 20 years. So clearly there's a place for me in this. I had a student who really didn't like that I was open about my politics and my faith. Not that I proselytize in class, I do not do that. I just tell everyone, look, this is where I'm coming from, this is what I believe, so that they can get to know me as a person. Well, this particular student wasn't doing very well because he just wasn't putting in an effort. Incredibly bright young man. He decided to write his final paper on Satanism and its glories. And I didn't tell him he couldn't. I let my students choose their topics with very, very few exceptions. And when he told me his topic, I said, okay. I wrote it down, said, that's your topic. I got the paper, and I graded it based on its merits. Did it communicate well? Did it meet the guidelines of the assignment? Yes, it did. It was an A paper, and I gave it an A. And I wrote a little note on the last page, because this was back in the days when we actually turned in printed copies of papers. I wrote a little note on there that said, this is incredibly well organized. You did great research. You set up your thesis well. You supported your claims. It's everything an A paper should be. I graded it with a Bible and holy water next to me as a joke, but it's still an A paper. He was actually angry that he got an A because his whole plan, and he told me this, I'm not making this up, this is not an assumption on my part. He told me he had hoped I would flunk it so he could take it to the dean and complain about me. If we disagree on something, that doesn't mean we have to hate one another. You can write about virtually anything in my classroom. I will never judge a paper or grade a paper based on those kinds of things. That's just not what teachers should do. We're going to help you improve your writing, no matter the topic. So I hope that this message is helpful. I hope that it helps take some of the fear and anxiety out of writing. Just always remember that our goal as teachers is to help you improve your writing, not agree with you, disagree with you, tell you you suck. We all suck, okay? Most of us who are professional teachers or writers, we don't write wonderful, beautiful, perfect drafts on the first try. No, we write rough drafts, revisions constantly. We're in the same spot you are. And a teacher who understands that is always just going to try to give you the best advice they can to improve your work. So if you have a teacher who doesn't do that and you need some help, go to your university's writing center, find a tutor, find someone who can really help you improve your writing and not focus on the things you agree or disagree with. Okay? So I hope this has helped. I hope you have a great day, and I really appreciate you taking the time to stop by. All right, take care and have a great one.